Rise up, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, kings and queens, friends, frenemies, and you agents. My name is Mali and this is the Gambi One channel. I'd like to welcome you because this conversation is about the good brother Malcolm X. Now, I was watching my YouTube, the suggested videos from YouTube. One came up from Tariq Nasheed, and it was about about how it had a picture of Amy Schumer and Malcolm X. Apparently, just from the strap, I've listened to it. According to the strap line, she's trying to use things that he said in the past to speak about, the idea of the Israeli side of the Israel-Gaza conflict that's happening right now. This water is chasing. Wow, the water's cold. Woo. Oh, no, it's not that cold. It was quite nice. Anywho, that's what she did. So I thought, okay, it's not really that interesting. Not something I'm going to listen to. Until about 3 or 4 days ago, I got a video from a brother. It was from, it was a recording, what I thought was a recording from Malcolm X. And he was speaking about the injustices of Israel in the Palestine area. And I was very intrigued by that because I was like, okay, so what? Like both sides have got a black leader to speak on their behalf. Why are they doing that? Why? So before I go into it, have a listen to the recording from Malcolm X, okay? I'll give you some background to look at while you listen.
The Palestinian struggle is not just a cry for justice. It's a blistering battle for the most fundamental human rights that every living soul on this planet should inherit by birthright. It's an unyielding resistance against the oppressive, suffocating grip of occupation and the callous denial of the most basic human dignity. Just as the civil rights movement in the United States fought against the chains of racial discrimination, so too do the Palestinian people strive to shatter the chains of occupation and tyranny. Never forget, my friends, that the Palestinians, much like African Americans in the United States, have been subjected to a heart-wrenching history of suffering and torment. The birth of Israel in 1948 brought forth the mass expulsion and dispossession of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their ancestral homes and land. This is a historic injustice that continues to haunt the lives of Palestinians to this very day. The situation in Palestine serves as a brutal reminder of the consequences of colonialism and the ruthless dispossession of indigenous people. It is an agonizing reminder that the fight for justice knows no borders, and we must stand united in solidarity with all oppressed peoples, whether they reside in the United States, South Africa, or anywhere around the world. Let's be unequivocally clear. Advocating for the rights of the Palestinian people is not synonymous with denying the rights and security of the Jewish people. The fight for justice in Palestine is not an assault on any particular group, but an unwavering stand against the policies of a Zionist state that has for far too long stripped Palestinians of their rights. We must remember that numerous Jewish voices also resound in the calls for justice and peace in Palestine, and their voices must not be silenced. In our relentless pursuit of justice for the Palestinian people, we must also acknowledge that it is in the best interest of the entire world to seek a just and enduring solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It is a pursuit in the name of peace, stability, and the dignity of all mankind. But let me underscore this. The battle for justice in Palestine is not merely a political struggle, it's an elemental moral battle. It's the fight for the most basic human rights of a people who have suffered these injustices for far too long. It's the fight for the right to exist in peace and security, free from the ceaseless specter of violence and dispossession. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. I implore every person of conscience, regardless of their origins or beliefs, to stand steadfast with the Palestinian people in their unwavering quest for justice by any means necessary. Let us unite in building a world where every soul can live in freedom and dignity, where the rights of every individual are not just respected, but celebrated. The struggle for justice in Palestine is a universal fight, a resonating echo of the battles waged by oppressed people across the globe. It's a battle we must champion, a torch we must carry, and a legacy we must honor. Thank you, and free Palestine.
All right, hopefully that's long enough. I'm going to enjoy editing that part. All right. So it was the beginning. It was the beginning that said that blistering something to show that something. As soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, that doesn't sound like Malcolm X. And the longer you listen to it, the more it doesn't sound like Malcolm X. It sounded like some ChatGPT made up stuff, you know. Hey ChatGPT, what would Malcolm X say about the conflict in Gaza from Israel? From a Palestinian point of view, of course. ChatGPT comes with that. And as I've been looking into it, more and more people are posting that recording on Twitter, X, on Facebook, Instagram. There's memes with it. So it's been propagated out there on the internet. And I'm still left with the question, well, what's in it for them? Why are people using, you know, obviously there's no one of note, you know, who, you know, someone who's got like a scholastic view of the world and current affairs, who's also black and has anything of note to say. Usually it's kind of like a Dr. Umar Johnson kind of, is, you know, kind of thing where it's like, it's got nothing to do with us, leave us out of your troubles. So why do they use this? Well, here's my hypothesis, here's what I think. You know, there was a time, I'll go turn around. There was a time where the reparations conversation in the UK was hotting up. And from 2015, every year, I think it was from 2015, every year on the 1st of August, let me just clarify what I was saying. Like, 2015 is as far back as I remember. It could have been before that as well, okay? I've got to try and check and double check my words, because you lot be checking me so often on what I say. But anyway, at least from 2015, there's been a reparations march that's gone on in London in the UK, from Brixton to the Houses of Parliament on the 1st of August every year. Been no changes, no cancellations. That's what we've been doing. I was a part of it as well. But then I came out and moved out here, so yeah, that kind of ended for me. But the struggle continues over in the UK. Now the local media, the mainstream media over in the UK, completely ignored it. The fact that you could have thousands of people midweek stopping traffic from Brixton all the way up into the House of Parliament, and nobody even mentions it. It's not even a traffic warning Nobody mentions it. Ever once in any of those years. So we did not get the traction that we needed. But since the reparations conversation has been taking place from the States, people are listening. That reparations conversation is something you hear in presidential debates. It comes up in conversations in the mainstream media, in various podcasts. So many people know that this is something that needs to be discussed, whether they're for it or against it. It's something that's had to be discussed. It's in the zeitgeist currently. Not what we was doing over in the UK. No. So there's a level of heft, a level of seriousness when our cousins over in the States speak about issues that bother them, because it bothers all of us, you know, whether it's police brutality, what we have in the UK is people being killed while in custody is usually how it goes, not on the streets. So it's slightly different. But, you know, search Marcia Rigg. She's been looking for justice for her brother for like, I don't know what, 25 years? No interest. No one cares. Just ignore it. It will go away as far as the mainstream media is concerned. But our sister is still there speaking on that case. So that's what I think it is. I think that these groups have seen the effectiveness. So that's what I think it is. There's a way in which Black Americans speak about the injustices that they've been dealing with, and it's so effective that other groups are trying to piggyback on that effectiveness to deal with their own issues. So my request to those brothers and sisters over in the States is keep doing what you're doing, keep speaking up. It may kind of seem like as though it's making no difference, but the needle is moving. You know, there's weight behind your words to the point where people are trying to hijack your efforts and your words and your things in order to be able to use it for their own agendas. Keep speaking up. And those of you who are not in the States, speak up too, speak louder, and make the best of what this world has to offer. So that's all the thoughts that's from me. This is your brother Marley, with wet feet on the beach. You take care of yourself, and until next time, peace.